You're listening to Short History Shorts audio, where history speaks louder than images. The Great Pyramid of Khufu stands as one of humanity's most enduring marvels, a structure so vast, so precise, and so ancient that it continues to inspire awe more than 4,000 years after it was built. Rising from the Giza Plateau with the force of eternity itself, it is the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing. This is not simply a tomb, it is a monument to divine kingship, to human ingenuity, and to a civilization that built on a scale unmatched for millennia. In this episode we explore the construction, symbolism and legacy of the Great Pyramid of Khufu, a masterpiece of the ancient world, and a monument to one man's quest to become eternal. Khufu, also known by his Greek name Cheops, was the second pharaoh of Egypt's 4th dynasty, reigning around 2589 to 2566 BC. He was the son of Sneferu, the architectural pioneer who perfected pyramid building, and Khufu inherited not only his father's throne but also his monumental ambitions. Whereas Sneferu had experimented with form and design, Khufu would achieve architectural perfection. His pyramid would rise higher, cover more ground, and consume more stone than anything that had come before, or anything that would come after. The numbers alone are staggering. The Great Pyramid originally stood at about 146.6 meters tall, though erosion and the loss of its outer casing stones have reduced it slightly over time. Its base covers more than 13 acres, and it is composed of an estimated 2.3 million blocks of limestone and granite, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons. The precision of its alignment is extraordinary. Each side of its base is almost exactly 230.4 meters long, and it is aligned almost perfectly with the 4 cardinal points of the compass. In both scale and symmetry, it is a feat of engineering that defies its era. But how was it built? That question has puzzled scholars for centuries and continues to generate theories, from the reasonable to the fantastical. The most widely accepted model involves a massive labor force, perhaps as many as 20,000 to 30,000 workers, operating over 2 decades. These were not slaves, but skilled laborers, masons, engineers, and seasonal workers who lived in nearby workers' villages. Recent archaeological evidence supports the idea that they were well fed, organized into teams, and took great pride in their work. They used copper tools to quarry the limestone, and sledges and ramps to move and position the blocks. Whether those ramps spiraled around the structure, stretched outward in straight lines, or took some other form remains debated. But the logistics involved careful planning, vast manpower, and unshakable coordination. Inside the Great Pyramid, a series of chambers and passageways reflect an intricate design, not merely a stack of stone. The King's Chamber, lined with massive granite blocks from Aswan, is reached by the Grand Gallery, an ascending corridor with corbelled walls that may have helped distribute weight and pressure. Above the King's Chamber are 5 relieving chambers built to absorb stress from the enormous mass of stone above and prevent collapse. Then there's the Queen's Chamber, which likely had ritual or symbolic significance rather than practical function. And lower still is the subterranean chamber, carved directly into the bedrock, its purpose still shrouded in mystery. But beyond architecture, the Great Pyramid was fundamentally a religious structure. In ancient Egyptian belief, the pharaoh was not just a ruler, but a living god, the earthly manifestation of Horus, destined to join the sun god Ra in the heavens after death. The pyramid symbolized this divine ascent. Its very shape mirrored the Benben, the sacred mound that emerged from the primordial waters at the beginning of creation. Its smooth limestone casing, now mostly stripped away, would have gleamed white in the sun, transforming the pyramid into a radiant beacon visible for miles, a literal stairway to the heavens. Even the internal layout had cosmological meaning. Some researchers argue that the narrow shafts extending from the King's and Queen's chambers align with specific stars. The northern shaft of the King's chamber points toward Thuban, the pole star at the time, while others align with Orion's belt and Sirius, all important in Egyptian religion. The pyramid was not merely a tomb, It was a cosmic machine, designed to launch Khufu's soul into the afterlife among the stars. Ironically, despite the pyramid's grandeur, we know relatively little about Khufu himself. His full name, Khnum Khufu, means Khnum protects me, and only a handful of statues and inscriptions of him survive. The most famous of these is a tiny ivory figure discovered at Abydos, barely 3 inches tall. This contrast between the colossal pyramid and the near-invisible image of the king suggests that Khufu wanted to be remembered not through his portrait, but through his monument. In essence, he became the pyramid. The Great Pyramid set a standard that no later ruler would match. Khufu's son, Djedefre, and grandson, Khafre, built impressive pyramids of their own, but none equaled the scale or precision of Khufu's. Even Ramses the Great, centuries later, preferred massive temples and statues over pyramids, understanding that Khufu had already taken that form to its ultimate expression. In fact, later generations viewed the pyramid with a kind of reverent mystery. By the time of the New Kingdom, scribes and priests no longer fully understood how it had been built, and it became an object of legend. Greek visitors like Herodotus attributed fantastical tales to its construction, imagining slaves, cruelty, and secret treasures. In time, the Great Pyramid passed from history into myth, and yet its legacy endures. For millennia, it has inspired poets, scientists, travelers, and mystics. Napoleon is said to have stood inside the king's chamber in awe and emerged changed. Modern engineers marvel at its mathematical precision. Astronomers explore its stellar alignments. Conspiracy theorists claim secret knowledge is hidden within its stones. And through it all, the pyramid stands, implacable, inscrutable, eternal. It stands as a reminder that ancient Egypt, often reduced to papyrus and myth, was capable of monumental achievement through human will, collective labor, and celestial ambition. The Great Pyramid is more than a building. It is a message in stone, a symbol of permanence in a world of change, a testament to Khufu's desire to reign not just for a lifetime, but for eternity. And in that,